Hi guys, welcome back to FVSD Life. My name's Bronwyn, and for today's video I will be talking about the death that was caused by fetal valproate spectrum disorder. If you enjoy this video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. The article was published in the Sunday Times, and the title of the article is "I feel like I killed my son. Epilepsy drug sodium valproate linked to death." So the first death linked to an epilepsy drug that can be extremely dangerous if taken during pregnancy has been recorded by a coroner, sparking fears for thousands of other families. Manchester West's coroner Pete Siege said exposure in the womb to sodium valproate has left Jake Aldcroft with disabilities that were a contributory factor in him developing fatal brain damage. His mother, Sharon, 46, from Droylsden near Manchester, who took sodium valproate from the age of 17, said, "In a way, I feel like I killed my son. It will always be with me because I took that drug." Like thousands of other women who have epilepsy, she was given no warning about the risk of taking sodium valproate while pregnant with her son, despite regulators knowing it could cause deformities in babies. Jake, 21, died in April after developing fluid on the brain. The coroner found sodium valproate was the cause of a structural abnormalities that led to brain damage. The medicines regulator is preparing measures to try and stop the use of valproate among at-risk women, as data shows 3 babies a month are still being born after exposure to the drug. It's still expected to announce the measures in the coming weeks. Since the drug was first licensed in the 1970s, a generation of children have been left disabled and with lifelong care needs. Sodium valproate is known to cause learning disabilities and developmental delays in 4 out of 10 babies exposed in the womb. 1 in 10 will be left with physical deformities. Right, so ministers have ordered a review into how a financial redress scheme might work out to help the estimated 20,000 families affected. Women should not stop. The horror of many families that have to do everything they can to avoid infection, to manage really complex needs, because they know that, like Jake, their children are vulnerable and could ultimately lose their lives to this avoidable syndrome. Put simply, it's a health disaster waiting to go away. Sharon Aldcroft, who's a care worker, said people say valproate is like thalidomide, but it's worse. There are so many things now cropping up about the effects of this drug. I think it should be taken off the market. It's lethal. The new report, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's it. The rest is just talking about the MPs and stuff. Right, so I should have mentioned at the very beginning, do not stop taking sodium valproate. Always get medical advice if you do wish to stop any kind of medication, not just sodium valproate, any kind of medication. And yeah, seek medical advice. And yeah, so for those that don't know, Jake Aldcroft did a video for FVSD Life about a year, maybe 2 years ago now. him and his family are quite close with us. They actually helped. They helped us out when mum had to go into hospital, and they, in particular his mum Sharon, she did phone me a lot, and she phoned me every single day when mum was in hospital, and also after I think, I can't remember when, but during that process I did actually go to their house for the weekend, and I got to meet Jake, and he was the most proper gentleman I've ever met. He was so kind, he had manners, he led the most incredible life. I mean, it was incredible. He was a really kind man, he really was, and it's really heartbreaking that he was taken so young. His whole life is ahead of him. So for the next bit I'll be talking about is so it shocked us when Sharon told us that the official cause of death was fetal valproate spectrum disorder. And this, I'll never forget it, because me and mum were on the stairs, and mum had received a phone call from Sharon, and Sharon just said, look, can Bramman come over here? And mum put her on speakerphone. She said, I've got the death certificate, and it does say cause of death, fetal valproate spectrum disorder. And me and my mum just looked at each other going, what in the world? And that whole process, I mean, I was grieving a friend, and I honestly, I didn't know how to process the whole thing. Jake, the thing is with Jake, he had so many health issues and health conditions, many of which weren't acknowledged because he had such a low pain threshold. I mean, his mum actually told me, we know quite a lot about what happened, but we know quite a lot about what happened with the story, and I'll be talking about it in April. I'll be talking about his entire story in April, and I'll be, obviously, I'm talking to his mum again in a few days to talk about that properly. And yeah, so when I first heard about it, I was in shock. I mean, I was at first terrified. I was thinking, oh my god, I am actually going to die of FVSD. But then I sort of, when I thought about it, I think the one thing that I'd probably be scared about is the brain stuff, to be honest, when it comes to FVSD. Or the stomach, actually. That's probably, right now, it's probably the stomach stuff because of what I've been told. And the thing is, every single person is different, and yeah, so I actually spoke with another mum yesterday, and she said that I mean, yes, loads and loads of mums are going to be terrified of, like, what if, you know, and the thing is, nobody knows, you know, but the mum I spoke to yesterday, she also said that her son, he has a very low pain threshold as well, and so, I mean, so she's like, now, since then, I've had to be vigilant, I've had to be on guard, I've had to really keep an eye on him, and it's just, it's true, quite a lot of parents are doing that now, and it's really, I don't know what else to say, really. I mean, I think now, with there being a link through FVSD and death, I think that now, hopefully, it will change the NHS a bit more. Hopefully now, when people go to the GP about fetal valproate spectrum disorder, hopefully the GP will now listen. Hopefully now, when people go to hospital about their child being unwell with fetal valproate spectrum disorder, they'll listen. I sincerely hope that there'll be more training with fetal valproate spectrum disorder, and people understanding what fetal valproate spectrum disorder is. And it's just, yeah, honestly, the entire story of what happened with Jake is just, it shocked me, honestly. I honestly, the video I'm going to be doing in April, I may actually have to do it in a couple of parts because it's going to be really. So I'm going to, I don't know how to wrap up this video, so I think I'm just going to stop it there. If you enjoyed this video, hit a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I was supposed to be talking about the other article, but actually I've decided to do that next week because this video is really intense. So yeah. So next week I'll be talking about the article and the latest recommendations regarding sodium valproate. And yeah, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next week. Bye!